Alright, let's get going. Hello guys. Let's start by doing a normal market overview, what happened last week and such. So on the week, I'm looking on the hourly right now. So this is like the price action for the last 11 days. Just mostly been moving sideways. We are still in a very bullish sort of area in our price action. Still hovering around the resistance. That 69k that we haven't broken in a long time now. So we did come up during the last week's price action. We came up, we had some slow. I did expect this push up. We did talk about it last week. So we had a solid push towards upside. We swept some of these highs. Swept the buy side liquidity up there. And then we started pulling down, kind of as expected. I think we did catch some short here. But then we did come back to these ugly lows that I were looking at. And I would have liked even first us to even come further down, maybe even consolidate and wick below, maybe something like that. So right now, this is still something I'm watching to fill sort of these wicks or take them out more so. So we could come back down, sweep this before we actually start going further up. But I'm also very aware of this being like a potential sort of ABC correction. This would be your like A wave, B, C, and then you would be looking at the impulse wave towards the upside, and that could be 1, 2, 3, so on, 4, 5, and so on, and then you would be back to retesting these highs again, as well as taking out these wicks that we did have as our sort of local buy side liquidity. And then you would be back to testing these highs again. So that's something I would be watching. We did have this ascending triangle right there that we did break out through. We did leave a lot of liquidity around these sort of lows. So that's also something to watch, but right now we're still bullish. I would be targeting higher. As long as we remain above this previous sort of high that we made, it's at like 67,382. I would suspect that we keep going. And at least sweep these highs at 68.8. But then we can, we could do the same thing that we did last weekend, I believe. Yeah, so this was Sunday price action pushed up, and Monday we swept and started ramping. So that's something I would be looking for as well. Could we see like a double sort of bottom here? Also a possibility. Because if we do look at the heat maps, so this is the weekly, we do have a bunch of liquidity towards the upside, all the way up towards that 70.5k. So that's like where most of the liquidity is hitting. It's like just a pocket right there. So that could move like really quick. So I'm not expecting too much next week. Maybe some push-ups. Then we do also have the election in in a week or so, and that's gonna be big. So I do think we can run up into the election and then dump like after. Even if Trump wins, it's bullish for crypto long term, but we can still dump of it as a sell the news event short term. And if I have a look at the market caps, total market cap, I'm gonna zoom out a bit. It's like, as long as we stay above this like $2.2 trillion zone, we should just be targeting higher demand zones basically. It's all higher lows across the board. So if we do start looking at these highs first of all, almost equal highs, but not really. 2.4 trillion. And then you do have your bigger supply, so, and that would be at 2.6, and that's where you would most likely see a bigger rejection. and hopefully make a higher low again and then keep going further. And that would also indicate that we do have a potential wave 5 of this bigger ABC correction into an impulse wave. And that could push up, I don't know how far, but up above all-time highs. Looking at total 2, we have something similar, slightly weaker since alts have been lacking a bit. Are catching up right now though. I would be looking at so this is ascending triangle here again. Higher lows, equal highs sort of. Need a proper breakout of this. Gonna look in the hourly. We had a good ABC correction and would be looking for those impulse waves. So watching to flip this B high supply zone would be your sort of confirmation to actually start targeting the 1 trillion and that trend line above. So this is the high I'm watching. But just making, if we do come up here, even if we just make an equal high or something like that, and we come back and make a higher low, also something I would be aware of. Look for some bullish market structure. Can we hold fair value gaps that are bullish and so on? We have a small inverse fair value gap right there. Would be sort of a good bid area if you're to see like lower time frame confirmations. Then we have totals 3, that's just alts, not ETH, not Bitcoin. Had an ascending wedge, and we did break down of it. Made some close to equal highs right here. We did not sweep these highs, so that's what I'm looking for us to come back. Have a larger trend line that we respected twice before, so this would be our third tap here. And then we would continue, if we do respect this of course, then we should see a continuation at least to this 630 billion market cap. But then we could see a retest, or we could see a flip and support and resistance flip, and then you will be looking at this. So 670 billion. Yeah, so that's something I would be looking for here again next week. Flip above that, we're looking at most likely 700 up to 770, like all them highs there again. And then you would of course see a Bitcoin dominance breakdown. It's currently rejecting slightly, but there's no like sort of shows no weakness in here yet, at least. Some Bitcoin against alt pairs are looking good, like Solana. So that's always something to be aware of. So if I were to have a look at Solana, yes, Solana, we did have this harmonic that I was watching. We had hit our potential reverse zone. We did have a smaller market structure shift, pushed up, made a lower high, it then broke down. So here we did sweep these sort of ugly lows that I call them on Bitcoin. So that's also why I do think like we are showing some more strength on Solana than actually Bitcoin right now. And if you were to look at this as a ABC correction here as well, then you would be looking at an impulse wave. And then if this, so there's like multiple ways to look at this. You could be looking at this, and this would be your fifth wave, and you would get a pullback from here. Or this is only your first wave, and you get a pullback, third, fourth, and so on. And then you would be looking at like this sort of 188 to 193 area. Our momentum is bullish. We held this low really strong. If we were to get a bigger pullback, of course, this 150 area is where I would be looking for longs again. Right now I'm just sitting on my hands waiting for sort of further confirmations again. See what Monday market open usually brings. What do more we have? We have ETH showing not a lot of strength. So compared to Bitcoin and Solana that did have some sort of recovery, we respected this hourly bearish fair value gap. Pushed down. Had a market structure shift, we broke down. We are coming back up to retesting this inverse fair value gap. Could be looking to dump further from here. And then I'd be looking at this 2350 area, these lows right here. Or if we do decide to take those out, I have a trend line, I believe, from lower. Yeah, so this trend line's been respected like 3 times before. And then you'd be looking at this 2.2k ish area. Again, ETH is not anything I'm touching just yet. No strength, nothing behind it. USDT dominance is interesting right now. So we did have this bullish harmonic that did play out last week. So we did get that was like we did get a small pullback on crypto because of that. We did sweep these sort of highs. We did still respect it till it closed below it. But we are making higher lows. So this again, you would want to see a breakdown. You would need break below trend line. And we can be like really bullish for the coming weeks. We did respect this 3-day fair value gap. But lower time frame momentum is bullish. Higher time frame momentum is bearish. So it's pretty 50-50 there. If we do push further up or if we start breaking down. Again, Monday market will most likely just show what the rest of the week is doing. If we were to break down, I would most likely be looking at this 488, the 886 fib, so you have a sort of a demand area right there. That's was the last sweep we got before the big leg up. What do we have? Yeah, the potential impulse waves for Solana. If this was the 5th wave, we'd get pullback here. So we have the S786 that we're currently bouncing off, and this is a higher time frame fib. So a break below that, and a break below this surf low that we did make on the 50 minute would confirm sort of a pullback, at least towards this 170 area. And if we do respect that, then we should go higher, 184. Disrespect that, and we should go lower to the 160, maybe even 150, maybe even that 150 area. And this will, of course, again, this would be our optimal longs for 200, so on, Solana. I can go through some altcoins as well that we did have previously. AVAX, bearish harmonic, did play out. We had an sort of ascending wedge. We came up, swept. I believe this was Monday. Yeah, that was Monday. We swept the weekend highs, and then just broke down from there. We are below this sort of trend line that I do have, but we know market loves to take out these trend lines. So this is still something to watch. We have not made it any new lows on the daily. So we should still remain bullish on the higher time frames, but on the lower time frames such as 4 hour and below is bearish momentum still. So alts are lacking. That's something we did see previously as well. As long as Bitcoin dominance keeps going up, money will flow into Bitcoin instead. Sui, I did add some Sui this weekend. Came back down to this demand zone after breaking down. Would like to see a higher low form somewhere here. Maybe some sort of consolidation here right now. Maybe a falling wedge. Unconfirmed. If we were to push lower, because that's your next zone. And even lower than that, it would obviously be this entire range. So it would be this 1.4 area. So below anything below 1.5 feels good for a SUI DCA. Even if I did buy some here. Our did got stopped out break even after we did take some profits on this long. Did not manage to push up all the way that I wanted, but yeah, still broke down. Was still a good trade at the end of the day. But we should be also targeting higher as long as these flows are held. And that's at like 0.4287. Because that's your bigger time frame structure. But of course, do want to hold it. See it hold on the slightly lower time frames as well. STX broke down slightly as well. No reclaims yet. Save. I did also DCA some here. Could see us get a pullback into this sort of breakout zone before actually pushing up further. Dogecoin, extremely strong. I'm not sure what happened. Tesla has been doing good at least. Dogecoin has been doing good. Had this retest, haven't really moved all weekend or all week basically. Last 14 days it's just been consolidating. We did have a sweep towards the downside. It is good for longer term, sustainable. Looking to most likely sweep these highs. If we can flip this high, of course. As that would be your sort of first demand, or not demand, I mean supply. Supply some resistance. Yeah. I think those are the ones I'm looking at. Then we do have Dupe popping off as well with Solana pumping. Had a bearish harmonic. Hasn't quite reached to where I wanted it, but again, I would be looking for some shorts here. Nothing jet, no breakdowns. Only got small sweep here. Nothing more than that. So until we actually get the structure break, we should be targeting higher, and we can go as high as 1.7 for this big harmonic to play out. ETH BTC, I mean we can look at the weekly here. Not interested. Could see pullback to 786, 886 even. And this is on a weekly time frame. Peace is something I'm still holding. Looks like we are getting a higher low here, which is good. No higher highs yet against the Bitcoin. But I do think when this once breaks out, you should see like a very explosive move towards the upside. So that's also why I'm kind of holding it still. Even just targeting stuff like these highs, so a previous resistance, would be a good 93% move, 90% move around there. Pepe. Oh yeah, this is one of more reasons I have started using into Pepe as well. I do have this bullish harmonic, Pepe Bitcoin. Could see slightly lower into the 886, and that would be this of 1261 area. Something I do have notifications on we do reach that, but the 786 was my first entry to DCA back into Pepe. Any coin requests? Or are we good to go? Yeah, we'll be having a look at CAS. I did have it charted out as well, I think. So CAS in general, bullish harmonic, still a valid one, even if we do break slightly lower. Bounced off the 886 pretty clean. Looking at the 3-day, we did take this trend line out. Would be looking at a flip above the 786, so that's 0.12, as well as this daily fair value gap. So a class above this, maybe a retest into the around the 50% of it. That's where I would be wanting to buy some CAS for longer term. 0.14 and so on. I know Aussie is really bullish on CAS as well. He has a few charts on it. So that looks great. Structure is intact, higher lows still across the board. Even if some bearish momentum, it's always the time that you want to DCA into spot bags and so on. CAS BTC, we do also have a bounce at 86. Swept those lows that we did make before we made our like local high that we had. Closed above you. I'm guessing you have a similar view here. You have this local daily high. Would want to see the market structure shift above that. So that's your daily sort of downtrend. I close above that, maybe I retest into this sort of previous support that we did have right here, and then push up towards the upside again. And then you have plenty of highs to take out and stuff. So CAS I'm really looking at right now. I'm gonna set some notifications for these levels to flip, to see if we do see any strength right there. Any more requests? Or was that it? I don't think DCA CAS spot here is a bad option. Not at all. You could even use it as, take it as a swing trade and just have stop loss at this 0.1 area. That would be like the structure break of the higher time frame. So break below that, even if you do push up, you would be looking at lower then. I don't hold any CAS yet, so I will most likely buy some CAS after this stream. 0.12 isn't a bad entry. And if market decides to run up into the elections, would be great. Yeah, so that's the only thing that would like make us dumb from here, sort of to say. Would be like if the Middle East tension stuff, war, escalates, then you could see a bigger flush. We did have this USDT sort of FUD, not really FUD, it's more just they're looking into USDT over the weekend. Nothing I haven't heard of before. I'm not scared about that. Was just a minor market shakeout basically. I got some great longs on that on those news, as well as a short down. Well, I think I'm down there. It's been 30 minutes around ish. I will try to be a bit more active as well in the leverage trading chat or in the coming weeks, as well as meme coin, because I think market will do a lot. We get a lot of bounces across the board, like altcoins, meme coins. Feel like we should see some good plays coming weeks, leading up to election. Yeah.